Okay, so my two incisors were actually behind my two front teeth, which gave me this chipmunk-like overbite. So where are they? Front teeth. There we go. It's hard on reverse video. These two teeth lived behind these two teeth. It was not cute. Hey everyone, I'm going to launch with a weird question this week. Do you think your teeth impact your social life and financial success as an adult? A weird question for my channel, but one that's on my mind because of a really great podcast I just came across from Marketplace's This Is Uncomfortable program. And it's a story of Ryan Jones, who when she was 11, was accidentally hit in the face with a hammer. One of her friends, they were trying to build a soapbox car, and the hammer hit her and took up her teeth, lip, and nose. And the podcast was so compelling, I cannot stop thinking about it because I feel like but for a few differences, I could be Ryan Jones, and her story definitely hit my heart. So like Ryan, I grew up, I'd say working class. We weren't dirt poor, but I grew up in a trailer, and my mom was a telephone operator. My dad was a part-time handyman, full-time alcoholic. Money was always tight in our household, and yet my family was able to pay for braces for me. So I told my mom growing up in my teenage years and in my 20s, probably 50 times how grateful I was, because I know it cost about $3,000, and that was back in the 80s. And that was money that was not easy for our family to come by, and they put it into my mouth. And I really do think that that changed the trajectory of my life because of the confidence it gave me moving into my adolescent years. I wore braces from 5th grade up until 9th grade, and I have a nice smile today because of it. And so every time I look in the mirror, I think about that sacrifice that they made. Ryan was not as fortunate. Her family struggled and was not able to put the resources into her mouth. And there's a different path that her life took because of it. It has a happy ending, but I think it's a podcast program that's definitely worth a listen. And I thought, because I couldn't get it out of my head, it's probably something that a lot of our students are dealing with also, which is physical things about them that they feel are kind of out of their control, but could have a great impact on them and their futures. And there's a line that Ryan says late in the program, and I'm going to read it because I want to make sure I say it just right. As an adult, even with her messed up teeth and the frustrations and the challenges that she faced because of it, she still judged other people for their messed up teeth and made some maybe unfair assumptions because of it. And she said what she realized was, I did judge other people, and that meant I was also judging myself. And I was like, yeah, the things that I judge other people about are the things that I actually fear about myself or hate about myself. So I sat with that uncomfortable moment, and I think it's a really cool idea for our students to sit with too. Ryan's story is relatable. I think it'd be a great classroom activity. So I wrote up some questions that will help students go through Ryan's story on the podcast. And if you want them, the link is down there for that. But really, I just love using podcasts in the classroom. And this is one this summer that has just kind of been rattling around my head, and I wanted to share it with you. Do you use podcasts? I love them for students. There's some kids who just really would rather hear a story than read it. And it's also nice to break it up. New testing requires that kids listen to a section and then answer some questions. And so interacting with podcasts in the classroom is really valuable training for those test taking skills, but actually it's just valuable training for life. Audiobooks are huge. You know, you're listening to stuff when you're doing chores or driving to work or on the treadmill or whatever it is you do. And so that's a really cool way of storytelling and something I think you should check out. So I'll put the link down there for everything. I hope you guys are well. I'm actually going to take the next month off. I'm going to take July off from the YouTube channel. It's just time for a rest. I'm going to travel to Montana, see my son, and just give myself some breathing room to finally move in. I still don't have the office set up. That's why I'm outside. But I'll be back in August, and then we'll hit the ground running with more content and more teacher questions and all kinds of cool stuff as we get back to school and figuring out what this new school year is going to look like for everyone. All right, I hope you guys are well. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Say hey. Tell me your favorite podcast. What's something I should listen to on my road trip? All right, you guys, be well. I'll see you next time. Bye.